George Foreman to bring you guys 3 incredible recipes using their Fit Grill. So we've got a Dukkah cauliflower with a cumin, garlic and tahini sauce. This one will definitely be a crowd pleaser. I'm also going to be sharing the most delicious grilled spicy tomato salsa. It's summertime. I want salsa. I'm not sure about you, but I love a good salsa, and this one was everything. I've also got a lime, honey and rum chicken thigh recipe, which is absolutely irresistible. So there's going to be a variety of recipes that I share. Let me know which one you are drawn to, which one you will be trying out first. So if you're interested in checking out or purchasing the Fit Grill that I'm going to be using in today's video, make sure you head over to the George Foreman website. Using this code FITGrill10 will get you 10% off all of their Fit Grills. So yeah, head over to their website if you are interested. I am so ready to jump into these delicious grilled summer inspired recipes using the George Foreman Fit Grill. Let's head over to the kitchen. Let's go whip these recipes up. Let's go. So the first recipe is this Dukkah grilled cauliflower. I was left speechless after I tried this. It's so simple as well. It's just a few ingredients. We're going to be making like a garlic tahini sauce to go with it. So yummy, absolutely delicious. For the Dukkah cauliflower, we are going to need a good fresh cauliflower. We're also going to be needing a Dukkah spice blend. Now you can usually find one in the supermarket. I know in the UK we definitely have a lot of Dukkah options. I think Dukkah is one of my favorite spice blends. This one in particular includes coriander seeds, cumin seeds, fennel seeds. There's a whole mixture of herbs and spices within this. So for that garlic tahini sauce that we're going to be making, of course, we're going to need some tahini. Now I love to use a light tahini. It's quite subtle. We're also going to be using some lemon juice with the tahini. I top the cauliflower with some almond flakes. You can use some pine nuts. You can get creative with it. I also chopped up some fresh parsley, which is just a must for a recipe like this. I began by chopping up my cauliflower. Now for a medium-sized cauliflower, you'll probably get like 2 to 3 steak pieces, if you know what I mean. So a tip to cutting a cauliflower steak is to make sure you keep the stalk attached. This will ensure that everything doesn't kind of fall apart. Make use of the leftover florets. Don't throw them away. Put them aside and use them in another recipe during your week. So a step that I love to take to ensure that I get the perfect grilled cauliflower is to actually steam it beforehand. This means that the center is cooked and that you're not going to kind of overcook it on the grill. So I placed on my sea salt, followed on by the Dukkah blend. I wanted some extra kind of garlic flavor, so I used a little bit of garlic granules on top too. Of course, I gave it some good black pepper, followed on by a swirl of olive oil, making sure the cauliflower pieces were covered on both sides. So super simple to set up my George Foreman grill. So I went ahead and heated up my George Foreman grill, which took no time at all. It's one of the things that I love about it. It literally takes 2 minutes. I simply plugged it in and it was on and ready to fire up, ready to go, ready to cook this delicious cauliflower. So I grabbed my cauliflower pieces, placing it on the grill. I left it to grill for around 5 to 6 minutes. Just make sure you kind of keep an eye on it. Depending on the size of your cauliflower, it might cook at a different rate. So yeah, whilst the cauliflower was cooking away, I whipped up this garlic tahini sauce, which is infused with cumin. It's a really simple tahini sauce that we're going to throw together. I'm just making it sound fancy, but it's really, really simple. So I grabbed a little bowl, placing in the tahini, followed on by that lemon juice. I placed in the olive oil, the minced garlic, some sea salt, some cumin, and I just whisked everything. So with this sauce, it is going to thicken up. I just say add a little bit of water gradually, just till you reach your desired consistency. More for the visual effects of this plate, I cut up some pomegranate, which I also love the taste of too, and it works well with the tahini and everything else that we're gonna kind of combine on this plate. So I grabbed my grilled, cooked cauliflower steaks, just look at them, literally grilled to perfection, and I swirled over that tahini. I also placed on top some date molasses. You could also use pomegranate molasses if you have that on hand. I placed on some fresh parsley, some almond flakes, and I scattered over some pomegranate. This cauliflower plate right here, this is perfect for like a starter if you're having a dinner party. You could serve it as the side vegetable for your main meal, or if you want to impress yourself, if you want to show yourself some love by cooking up just a really beautiful plate of food, this cauliflower will just honestly just wow the crowds, and it will wow you, I promise. Just can't get over how simple this beautiful recipe is. You really just need a good Dukkah spice blend. You need a good grill, like the George Foreman one, which is going to grill the cauliflower steaks perfectly on both sides. This recipe, yes, you have to try it. Give it a try. So the next recipe that we are going to create using the George Foreman grill is this grilled tomato salsa. Now, I'm such a fan of tomato salsa, of course, like most people. It's just delicious. But this one was different. It was definitely the grilled aspect that added to the flavor. We are going to choose the juiciest of juicy tomatoes that we can find, okay? We want bright red plump tomatoes, something like these. This recipe also includes some fresh herbs. So we've got some fresh basil and we're going to be using some coriander. I love the combination of both. If you want to use just one of the herbs, that is totally fine. We're going to be needing some fresh lime juice, some red onion. We're also going to be using some jalapeno for the heat. We want it hot. Well, I want it hot at least. This salsa recipe, I'm also going to be adding in some red peppers. So I grabbed those juicy tomatoes and I chopped them up. I removed the seeds. I also chopped up the red pepper and I chopped up that red onion into kind of like wedge-like pieces. So with the jalapeno, depending on your spice levels, how spicy you want it, remove the seeds if you don't want it so spicy. I actually wanted a lot of heat in mine, so I kept quite a few seeds. I placed all of the ingredients onto the George Foreman grill, so the tomatoes, the peppers, the jalapeno, and the red onions. I left them to grill for around 5 minutes or so until they were looking something like this, till they were looking gorgeous and cooked and grilled, and yes, just incredible. So removing all of my grilled vegetables, I placed everything into a food processor along with some seasoning. So I placed in some sea salt, also a swirl of olive oil, you know how we do, the minced garlic, the herbs, and a good squeeze of lime juice. So I quickly blitzed everything. You kind of want to pulse it, making sure that you keep that texture. I like a good chunky texture. Obviously you kind of know what you like, so if you prefer it smoother, you can do that. I just love those chunky tomato pieces in my salsa, so yeah, I kept it like this. This salsa is something else, and it's honestly down to like that grilled taste that you get firsthand when you're kind of cooking the vegetables. It makes all the difference to the final taste of this salsa. I was throwing on everything throughout my week. I actually made up these cauliflower tacos using the leftover cauliflower that I had from the previous recipe. Made up these cauliflower tacos, threw that tomato salsa on top. These were incredible. So the last recipe that we are going to prepare with the George Foreman Fit Grill are these lime, rum, and honey chicken thighs, which are so good, so tasty. For our lime, honey, and rum chicken thighs, we're gonna make the seasoning from scratch. So I'm gonna be using ingredients like spring onion, lots and lots of garlic. I'm using some habanero chilies. Scotch bonnet would work in place perfectly. We're gonna be using some limes, of course, lots and lots of fresh thyme, some fresh ginger. We're gonna need a good quality honey. A good quality honey will make all the difference. Some tamari, and then of course our golden ingredient, just a little bit of rum. If you'd rather not cook with the rum, then that will work fine. If you want it to be alcohol free completely, that's fine. So we're also gonna be adding in some allspice, some cinnamon, and some ground white pepper. We're going to begin by chopping and peeling. So I chopped up my spring onions, even though I didn't really need to. I don't know why I did, because it's all going in a food processor. We're going to blitz this seasoning up. Into a food processor, I placed in the onions, the spring onions, garlic, the ginger, the habanero, leaving in the amount of seeds to reflect the kind of spice that I want for this seasoning. I placed in the fresh thyme, some allspice, some cinnamon. I also placed in some ground white pepper, a good swirl of the honey. I splashed in the tamari. I poured over that rum. I gave it some good sea salt, and I whizzed this seasoning up. Now you can make a massive batch of this seasoning, just so you know. You can make it, keep it in your fridge. You can whack it on anything and everything. So I grabbed my wash and patted dry chicken thighs. I also just kind of cut into the chicken thighs just so the flavor, the seasoning can run even deeper. Now, if you have the time, I would really recommend leaving your chicken thighs to season in the fridge for at least 4 hours. If you can do it overnight, that's even better. I grabbed my George Foreman grill, I placed that grill on, and I placed the chicken thighs on that grill. I closed that grill and simply just left them to cook. So you want to cook your chicken thighs for around, I'd say 12 to 15 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. Obviously, depending on the size of your chicken thighs, you might have a different cook time, but you want to make sure that they're cooked all the way through. Again, I've got to give it to the grill. The grill cooked these to absolute perfection. It's as if all flavor is intensified when using this George Foreman grill. Here we have it, 3 amazing recipes using the George Foreman grill. I am in love with this grill. I hope you guys have enjoyed these ideas. Let me know if you try any of them out. Tag me over on my Instagram. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. See you all. Bye.